Good morning students. Today we are going to deal with the next part of the lesson, that is AIDS and cancer. AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Its causative agent is human immunodeficiency virus, which is abbreviated as HIV. This virus belongs to retrovirus group. This retrovirus group typically have RNA as the genome. Transmission of the disease occurs through sexual contact with infected person, transfusion of contaminated blood and blood products, sharing infected needles. Infected mother may pass the disease to child through placenta. Incubation period of the disease may be few months to many years, generally 5 to 10 years. In the body, this virus first enters the macrophages. In macrophages, viral genome RNA forms viral DNA with reverse transcriptase enzyme. So as the retrovirus has RNA as the genome, first this RNA is converted to DNA, and for that the enzyme required is called as reverse transcriptase enzyme. Once this viral DNA is formed, this viral DNA directs infected cells to produce viruses. Then it takes over the infected cell machinery and it leads to the production of its own kind of viruses. HIV enters helper T lymphocytes and replicates in them. These viruses which are produced, they typically attack a special type of lymphocyte, T lymphocytes, which are called as helper T lymphocytes. We have learned that there are helper T cells which help B cells for antibody production. So these helper T lymphocytes are attacked by HIV virus, and the progeny of virus attacks many more helper T cells. Now you must have got the reason why the person becomes immunodeficient. As these helper T cells are destroyed, then that is why the immunodeficiency occurs. Symptoms of this disease are bouts of fever, diarrhea, weight loss. Other infections such as Mycobacterium, that is, it causes tuberculosis. Other infections by viruses, fungi and parasites may occur. The diagnostic test for this disease is ELISA, Enzyme linked Immuno Sorbent Assay. This is the test where the antibodies in the body of the patient are checked for. Treatment: antiretrovirus drugs are partially effective. There are certain drugs, but they are not curing the patient, they are only partially effective. So there is no cure for this disease. Prevention: use of only disposable needles and syringes. Free distribution of condoms. Controlling drug abuse. Regular checkups for susceptible population is done. The next disease is cancer. In this, the normal cells have contact inhibition property. When the cells touches each other, it stops growing. Thus the normal growth occurs. But in cancer cells, they do not have contact inhibition property. So they continue to grow and form mass of cells, which is called as tumor. So this is the main difference. As these cancer cells, they have lost the contact inhibition property, there occurs the growth, which we call it as a tumor. There are two types of tumor. Benign tumor. This remains confined to original location and do not spread to other parts. Malignant tumor grows rapidly, invading and damaging normal tissues. So this malignant tumor, it can spread to other parts. It does not remain locally, and these cells, they are neoplastic cells. They starve normal cells by competing for vital nutrients. So these malignant tumor cells or these neoplastic cells, they compete with the normal cells, and the normal cells are starved for the vital nutrients. Metastasis. This is a process in which from the malignant tumor, the cells which are sloughed or shed out from such tumors spread through blood to other organs, and this causes the spread of the tumor. Causes. Conversion of normal cells into cancer cells is induced by carcinogens. So, carcinogens are the substances which cause cancer by converting the normal cells into cancerous cells. There are three types of carcinogens. Physical, which includes X-rays, gamma rays and UV rays. Chemical carcinogens, tobacco smoke, Benzen, vinyl chloride, arsenic, etc. Biological-Oncogenic viruses. There are certain viruses which cause cancer. They have oncogenes and they are oncogenic viruses. Normal cells have cellular oncogenes or proto-oncogenes. So, certain normal cells also have cellular oncogenes or proto-oncogenes which get activated when they are exposed to particular environment. So the normal cells, with the help of these proto-oncogenes in certain conditions, may get converted to cancer cells. Detection and diagnosis is done through biopsy and histopathological studies. Radiography technique, CT, MRI is also used to detect the cancer of internal organs. Treatment, surgery, radiation therapy and immunotherapy. In radiation therapy, particular radiations are put on the cancer cells and they are killed. Alpha interferons activate immune system and destroy tumor cells. Now let us see drugs as opioids, cannabinoids and coca-alkaloids. Opioids bind to receptors in central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract. SMAC is diacetylmorphine, which is very commonly used. It is obtained from Papaver somniferum. Commonly we call it as a poppy plant. The another group of substances, they are cannabinoids. They bind to receptors in brain, and such substances are obtained from the plant cannabis sativa. Flower tops, leaves and resin from this plant is used to prepare different substances called charas, ganja, hashish. These cannabinoids show effect on cardiovascular system. The next group is coca alkaloid or cocaine. It interferes with transport of neurotransmitter dopamine. Dopamine is a substance which is produced in our body. So these cocaine substances, they interfere with transport of this dopamine. It has potent stimulating action on central nervous system and increased energy is there. And because of this increased energy, the certain people take that. Barbiturates, amphetamines are used to overcome depression and insomnia. Morphine is used as sedative and painkiller. Next topic is adolescence, addiction and dependence. Adolescence period is between 12 to 18 years of age. Several biological and behavioral changes occur in this period. Curiosity, need for adventure, peer pressure, unstable family structure, stress play a role in drug abuse. Addiction means with repeated use of drugs, the tolerance level of receptors present in the body increases, leading to greater consumption. So once the person tries the substances which cause addiction, the dose has to increase and that leads to the addiction. Dependence. When regular dose of drug or alcohol is abruptly discontinued, body gives unpleasant withdrawal syndromes which include anxiety, shakiness, nausea and sweating. Effects of drug or alcohol abuse. It shows reckless behavior, vandalism and violence. Excess dose may lead to coma and death. So the warning signs of this are drop in academic performance, unexplained absence in school, withdrawal and isolation. Depression, aggressive and rebellious behavior is also seen. Deteriorating relationships with family and friends. Alcohol damages nervous system and liver. It causes cirrhosis of liver. Misuse of drugs, certain hormones and anabolic steroids by sports person is done to enhance their performance. But the side effects may be permanent. Prevention and control. Avoid undue peer pressure. Education and counseling. Seeking help from parents and peer, looking for danger signs, seeking professional and medical help. So with this, we have completed this lesson. In next video, we will start with another lesson.